Union Minister Giriraj Singh talking about Katta, law and order, Rangdari. That's the big issue which, of course, the BJP has been consistently staking up. Aman, you know, this is a phase in which the last time round, the RJD had done actually very well for itself, the Mahagathbandhan rather. So today, when someone like a Giriraj Singh is talking about law and order, Rangdari and all of that, you get this sense that for the Mahagathbandhan, rather for Tejasvi Yadav, it's a do or die election and this weighs heavy on his mind?
Well, absolutely, Pallavi. And I think I remember the report you did from the RJD office where you showed that, you know, Lalu Prasad Yadav's face was nowhere there at any poster at the RJD office. That itself speaks of RJD's dilemma of not putting Lalu Prasad's picture on their posters because they feel that reminds the people of the Jungle Raj of pre-2005. I think Tejasvi Yadav has tried to change the narrative from that by just putting his own picture, telling the voters that this is a new RJD. We will not repeat our mistakes of the past. He in fact said we have a zero tolerance for crime. We will put the criminals in jail as soon as I come to power. So because the RJD really knows that the woman voter will not vote for RJD unless it is satisfied that the Jungle Raj won't return to Bihar. And I think the BJP has done its best to remind the people that Jungle Raj is going to be back when RJD comes back, because you saw JP Nadda there speaking that RJD, R means Rangdari, R means Bahubal. And you know, you saw the Prime Minister there say that RJD has put a katta to the head of the Congress to get Tejasvi declared as the CM face. So I think katta and Rangdari, these two terms have made a big impact in this election so far. Top leaders have spoken about it. So this election is also a lot about will Bihar go back into the lawlessness era of pre-2005 if the RJD comes to power, or will it remain the way Nitish Kumar has kept it? And as we were discussing yesterday as well, you know, I think the RJD did get off a good foot when that murder in Patna happened 3 months back. They tried to attack Nitish Kumar on the issue of Jungle Raj, saying a murder can happen right near Gandhi Maidan in Patna of a prominent businessman. How safe is a normal person on the street of Patna or in the villages? But I think they then left that issue and jumped onto the SIR issue also because they thought that BJP would come back with the old, you know, visuals of pre-2005. So I think it's a dilemma for the RJD, how they balance this. Are they able to convince the women voters, some of whom Arunima and Payal was speaking to, that Jungle Raj won't be back? I think that's a big challenge for the RJD.
And you know, Madhupana, you went to Siwan, okay, and you went to the Shahabuddin area. Now, the Mahagathbandhan's counter logic is that it's Hammam mein to sab nange hain, the Anand Singh issue. How much do you think the arrest of Anand Singh issue could actually counter this narrative against the Mahagathbandhan and the RJD that you are a Rangdari party?
Yeah, so see Pallavi, when I traveled to Siwan, I traveled to Mokama, and I saw the frenzied crowd, you know. So everywhere, even in Siwan, when I was waiting for Osama Sahab to come and file his nomination, I saw how people were actually waiting for him to reach that location, and he received a king's welcome. The same thing happened when I traveled to Mokama. That was a wild goose chase, but then I was there at Anand Singh Chote Sarkar's backyard, and I saw what kind of applause he receives when he also reaches his backyard. So these kind of things, so people do believe that these are the Robin Hoods from their seats, and if they fight they will get something, and this Bahubali culture is very much prevalent there. We in the cities, we look at their criminal records and we see that how many criminal cases they have, but people are accustomed to this fact that these are going to be our leaders and they're going to make us feel safe. So this is this kind of a situation when an incident happens, the clash happened and a person died, I mean he was killed, and apparently the FIR says that Anand Singh was present there, and then he was arrested. So this is of course a statement on Nitish Kumar's and his commitment to the law and order situation, and this action shows that despite being a JDU candidate who is going to contest election, he is not going to spare anyone, not even his party leader, his candidate, you know, before election. So that makes a lot of difference to the voters, and yet I feel that this reaffirms his contribution to bringing Bihar back to that law and order situation.
You know, Payal, Aman, what Madhupana is saying is correct, you know, right? We saw in the case of Amrit Pal Singh. We may think that they are Bahubalis, But the voters, their grip over the voters tells a completely different story. But, you know, as we're going to look at the larger Bihar picture, the caste factor is something which just cannot be completely wiped out. What would you say from your travels across Bihar? What is that big issue you picked up on which the people actually want to vote this time around? Any change?
See, Pallavi, I think caste remains all prevalent in Bihar still. When you speak to the voters, the worst thing that they come from them is that हमारी जात का candidate है कि नहीं है. You know, this is something which is very, very important. It's ingrained, I think, in the Bihar's political mindset. It is not going to go away in any quick time. Yes, there are other issues. There are issues like law and order. There are issues like free electricity. There are issues like jobs. But I think all these issues come after the caste issue. Number one box which has to be ticked by a voter is that the caste does it match with our caste, you know, in this particular seat. If our caste person becomes our MLA, our work will get done. That is something that is still very much prevalent in Bihar. That also shows in the seat distribution that the various parties have done, trying to, you know, make sure that Yadav candidates, Bhumihar candidates, Rajput candidates, SC candidates, there are particular permutations which are done by all the party. The RJD this time has given less tickets to Yadavs from last time, I think down from 68 to 61, because they wanted to accommodate the backward caste even more to reach out to a larger population which remains usually outside the RJD's embed. But I think the major issues, I would say jobs is a major issue. We saw Tejashwi Yadav first promise a job to every family, a government job to every family, which would amount to nearly 3 crore more jobs. I think BJP was under pressure because of that, and BJP also had to declare 1 crore jobs in their manifesto. Similarly, on the issue of electricity, for example, or cash transfers to women, I think the RJD took the leap by promising rupees 2,500 to women if they come to power. The JDU trumped them by giving rupees 10,000 to 1.3 crore women in one go, and now the RJD had to promise that we will give rupees 30,000 in one go on Makar Sankranti. So all 12 installments of rupees 2,500 in January will go to women. So I think the payout to women, which is for the first time, Pallavi, happening in Bihar. Earlier, never in Bihar have a cash rollout to women been promised. Just cycles were promised, prohibition was imposed. But this is the first time both sides are promising cash to women. One side has already given the cash. So obviously the ruling side, the JDU, BJP have a poll's position in that because they've already delivered the cash. And I think quickly the last point, I think, which is a real on the surface, if you see, free electricity is a big issue. Electricity has reached the villages. Nitish Kumar, I think, did a great step by announcing from August 125 free units for every domestic consumer in Bihar. This is a big promise, and people are really appreciative of that, and they feel that if the JDU goes out of power, maybe this free electricity will go away. That is something that is a challenge for the RJD.
Okay. Madhupana, before I just come across to you, there are certain 5 big questions which we really want to ask right over here on CNN News 18. Will the 2025 fight be as close as that of 2020? The margin of loss between, say, the RJD and the BJP was very narrow. 2025 Bihar fight is now just a two-way fight. The third question, of course, we are asking is that Nitish Kumar's weakness, is that being overhyped? Too much of health concerns, is that really going to work on the ground? The Jungle Raj spectre, does it still continue to haunt Tejaswi Yadav despite the fact that he wants to break away from his father's this baggage and legacy? And finally, which MY factor is going to hold the key to the victory? Muslim Yadav, or is it going to be Mahila and the youth people?